Hi, I'm Coach Rob Wilby from Team Oxygen Addict, and this is the latest in our series of video blogs regarding how to train for the bike for long distance races. The next question we've had in has been regarding how to periodise your year in terms of training for the bike for long distance races. So to be clear, this answer is only for the people who are going to be racing 70.3 and iron distance races this year. And the question's a really good one. It essentially boils down to, I want to get faster on the bike because I know I want to ride faster on race day, but my main limiter at the moment is I've got to be able to ride for up to 6 hours for an Ironman bike leg and up to 3 hours or 3.5 hours for a half Ironman bike leg. How do I juggle wanting to improve my power on the one hand and make sure I have enough endurance on the other hand to get through to race day? So the way we do this within Team Oxygen Addict is we periodise our year with something called the inverted pyramid. That means we try and get as strong and as fast as we can on the bike during the winter time, and the closer we get to race day, the more we move away from that power training and we shift towards endurance training. Now it's called the inverse pyramid because that's the opposite way round that people used to train when they were training for sort of Olympic and sprint distance races, where traditionally you do all your long slow work in the winter and then the faster stuff as you move towards race season. Well, that makes a lot of sense. You want to be as specific as you can in the lead up to your races, and the same thing is true with a long distance race. You want to be as specific as you can in the lead up to the races by doing more endurance training the closer you get to that race. So by the time you get there, you're confident you can complete the distance. However, that means that you've got to do the hard work at another time of the year, and that makes perfect sense to do it in the winter. So traditionally, what we set for our athletes is we'll have an 8 to 16 week period of improving their functional threshold power during the winter. So that might be 2 or even 3 sessions of FTP work during the winter. Then when we get to about 20 weeks out from the goal race, we'll start to transition towards more endurance training. What will happen there is we'll stay with 1 functional threshold training session a week, and the rest become more specific to long distance racing, so focused on the longer distance endurance rides. When we get to 12 weeks out from the race, we're going to move away from FTP training completely, and we're going to shift to doing the 1 quality session a week at sweet spot training. Now, the reason we do that and we move away from FTP work at this point is we need you to save your energy for the sessions that are most specific for your race. And by pushing the FTP as you're also trying to do long distance training, what we found is you're just going to get tired in the wrong way. So in the last 12 weeks before an Ironman or a half Iron race, you'll still be doing some hard work, but that sweet spot training is much easier to bounce back from and will save a lot more energy that you can then put into your longer rides and your really long weekend ride. Okay, so in terms of how you plan your year out, that's what we'd advise. Really hard FTP work during the winter, transitioning at 20 weeks out, so you only have 1 FTP session a week, through till 12 weeks out, where we move away from FTP work and start to really focus on that endurance training so you get to the race fit, fresh, and ready to push for a long distance. I hope this has answered your question. We look forward to getting more of your questions through soon. Thanks very much for listening.